Java, right? I mean, not basics. Okay, those are the basics to develop a one simple web application. Okay, when you are using those technologies, servlet container to maintain the project. Okay, but when we are working with a Spring application context is the main container which holds the, okay, every class. Okay, application context holds the every class. Okay, so here we have to create the application context in the Spring application for sure. Okay, that's very important, remember. Okay, so actually, okay, we are working with a Spring Core application, no? So that's why we write the code for the application context manually. We write the code for configuration manually. But when you are working with a Spring Boot application, no need to create the application context. Okay, it will return the application context, we have to catch it, that's it. Okay, no need to create the configuration, no need to create the spring.xml. Okay, all these things are not necessary when we are creating a Spring Boot application, but this is a basic Spring Core application. That's why, okay, we are writing everything in manually. Okay, yeah, so coming to the dependency injection that we performed. Okay, we performed dependency injection by using the getBean method. Okay, so here, okay, to create the bean, okay, to create the beans, we have used the one XML file, that is a spring.xml file. In the spring.xml file, we have created one bean factory. Okay, in the bean factory we have one bean with the id of dev. Okay, whenever the user created a dev object, okay, whenever user created a dev object, then, okay, so we have to call the developer class. We have to call the developer class, which is the part of com.dev spring. Okay, that's what we created. In the developer class, we doesn't have anything except one method. Okay, in the developer you can see, in the developer we don't we doesn't write any Spring code or I mean Spring Boot code. Okay, it has one class, and that particular one class has a method called coding. Okay, and we are calling this coding method in the app file by creating the object of developer. Okay, so we are creating the object of developer by using the bean factory beans. Okay, Java bean. Okay, remember all these things are important. Okay, and coming to the coming to the, okay, dependency injection. Actually, we have two types of dependency injections in Java ma. Okay, we have two types of dependency injection. The one is, I can write, um, okay, one is constructor injection. Okay, we have structure injection and the constructor injection. Before learning this sector injection and constructor injection, we have to learn about one important concept called singleton object. Okay, we have to learn about singleton object in the Spring application. Okay, so coming to this singleton object, what is a singleton object? Okay, so let's understand what it means and how it works. Okay, so actually, okay, in the developer class, okay, in the developer class, I am creating a one global variable ma. Okay, I am creating one global variable which is a int, developer has some developer name or something, or developer id, int developer id. Okay, we have one global variable, that means we have one instance variable. We have to access the instance variable by creating the object of the developer class, right? By creating the object of developer class, we can use the developer id for sure, right? There is nothing new. Nah. So here actually we are already having the developer object, right? Okay, we have the developer object in the name of dev, right? So here, okay, so I want to create a one new value. Okay, so let's see. Dev dot dev id. Okay, I want to assign some value to dev id. Okay, I'm assigning 20, and by using the system.out.println, we can print those value dev dot dev id. Okay, we can print the value something like this. Okay, this is a simple one, no? This is a basic one. Okay, so let's try to compile this. Let's see what we'll get. Okay, we have hello icon code and we got 20 also. Okay, we got 20 also because okay, we assign the 20 value here. Okay, now again I want to create another object for the another object. Okay, I want to create another object for the developer with the name of dev2. Okay, I want to create another object of developer by using dev2. So here dev2 dot okay dev id. Okay, I here I'm not a, I mean so I don't want to insert the value. Okay, so here I'll write one output statement to understand the difference. Okay, first developer. Okay, first developer. Okay, so here okay if okay I am having the second object. Okay, I am having the second object ma. So here I want to print the value of developer id from the second object. Okay, now you can see actually we have two objects. Okay, in first object I have assigned 20 to the developer id. Okay, in the first object I have assigned 20 to the developer id, and in the second object I didn't assign any value to the developer id. You can see. Okay, I created the object and I am using the object in the output statement. Okay, did I assign any value to the second object? No, right? So if I run this code, okay, if I run this code, we have the 20 again. Okay, so here let's change the output statement to something. Second dev. Okay, second dev, first dev 20. Okay, we have assigned the 20 in the first developer. We are not assigning the I mean any value to the developer id in the second developer. Okay, even though I am not assigning the value. Okay, we got okay 20 here. Now you can see. Okay, actually we have two different objects and we have assigned one value in one object. Okay, and another object is empty. Okay, we have not do we didn't do anything in the second object, but still we are getting the same value as similar to the first object. How? Okay, so there is a two possibilities to get the output like this. Okay, maybe okay dev id assigned globally, so that's why we are getting the value. Okay, otherwise okay the second reason is okay, so we have created a spring bean, right? We have created the java bean. Okay, so when you are creating the bean, okay, it will create the bean inside of a jvm. Okay, it will create a bean inside of a jvm whenever we need an object. Whenever we need a object, so that bean will return the same object. Okay, it doesn't create a new object for us. Okay, it doesn't create a new object for us. Okay, it will create a okay, I mean it will assign the same object to the new variable. That's it. Okay, so here we have to understand one important thing. So here we have one object na. Okay, we have one object which is assigned to the dev variable. Dev is the variable which is the type of developer, right? And in this line also, in the 25 also we have one okay bean. Okay, so this bean also returning the same object to the earlier. Okay, this be I mean this bean is returning the same object to the developer too. Okay, so we have okay same value in the both the variables. Okay, we have two variables of developer, one is dev, one is dev2, but the spring okay the spring bean assigned same object to the two different variables because the object is created in the jvm. Okay, whenever we are calling the bean method, whenever we need the bean, okay, the jvm will assign the okay same object to the our variables. Okay, even though you are creating the third variable. Okay, here I'm creating the third object. Okay, I'm creating the third variable, I mean third object. Okay, here let's make it as a third. it as third. Now you can run the code. Okay, now you can see the output. Now you can see, okay, first developer 20, second developer 20, third developer also 20. Why? Okay, we have initiated 20 in the first object only, right? We have initiated the 20 from first object. Okay, but still we are getting the 20 value in the both developer 2 and developer 3 because we are getting the same object from the bean. Okay, we are getting same object from the bean, but we have a different variables. That's it. Dev 2 and dev 3 are the different variables which is assigned to the same object. Okay, so this is a singleton object. Okay, singleton object. By default, Spring follows the singleton design pattern. Okay, singleton design pattern. Okay, guys, are you clear what I am explaining? Yes, Astosh. Now you can see the value will be override. No, I'm assigning 30 now. Okay, now let's check. Now, now we have 30 in the second and third because first is already printed. Na? The value will be override. That's it. Very good. Guys, are you clear about singleton object? Singleton object.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts in the singleton? Okay. No. Clear. Very good. So actually, according to our MVC architecture, okay, according to MVC architecture, we cannot create a okay one instance variable without a private keyword, right? Okay, if we are creating a one instance variable, that instance variable must be the private. Okay, according to our MVC architecture. No, so here let's make it as a private. Okay, if we mentioned private here, definitely our app will raise some errors. Okay, so the dev id is the private variable, but you are accessing them by creating the object. It is not possible, so you cannot use them. Okay, so it is raising some issues. Okay, so if I want to, okay, if I want to, okay, assign some, I mean, if I want to access the element of developer id, okay, how to access it? Okay, since developer id is the private variable, we cannot read directly. Okay, we cannot read directly. Okay, so how to read those values now? How to read the developer id value? We have to read the developer id value by using the setters and getters. Okay, we need a setter and getter. Go to the source and click on the setters and getters, select all and click on generate. Okay, select all and click on generate. Okay, now okay, so we have setter, I mean setter value, and we have getter value, no? Okay, by using setter, I mean give set id, give dev id. Okay, we can use them, but I don't want to use it from here. Okay, I want to insert the developer id from spring.xml. Okay, let's remove everything from here, or we can make it as a comment. Okay, so we have mentioned something. Okay, so we have getters and setters. Okay, now I want to insert the value, okay, by using the setter. Okay, by using the setter, that's a common thing. Okay, so now setter injection comes into the light. Okay, if you want to, okay, insert one value by using a setter. Okay, so we have to insert by using the setter injection method. Okay, we have to insert by using setter injection. Okay, so here we have to work with the spring.xml for sure again. Okay, within the bean, okay, within the bean of developer, okay, within the bean of developer, okay, we have to use the one property. Okay, we want to set the property, right? So here we can set the property by using one property tag. And here in the properties, okay, what is the name of the variable that we want to assign the value? Developer id. Developer id. The value I want, or 20 or 25, any value, any random value. Okay, I want to insert the value of 25. Okay, now, okay, we wrote something. Now you can see, okay, within the bean, okay, within the bean of developer class, we are inserting the one value of developer id. So you have to write your variable name in the name of the property, and you can assign some value in the value property. Okay, now let's try to print the value of developer id in our app main. Okay, so here, okay, developer dot get dev id. Okay, so I want to read the developer id. Okay, we don't need these objects. Okay, so we are injecting the, okay, one private instance value. Okay, we are injecting private instance value, okay, of our developer class from the spring bean factory. Now you can see how we inserted. Okay, actually, okay, the name of the variable must be equal to the name value. Okay, name variable. Okay, and value. Okay, so if you want to pass some value, you have to mention it in the value attribute. Okay, now you can run this code. Okay, we got first developer 25. Okay, this is the setter injection. Okay, if you want to inject the value of a one variable by using the setter in spring core, okay, we have to perform the setter injection with this manner. Okay, setter injection, we are injecting the value of a one particular variable by using the setter method. But here, okay, actually, if you want to insert some values, okay, by using, you know, the basic syntax, you have to use something like this now. So dev dot setter id, setter dev id. Here we have to write some 30, 25, any value we have to write something like this. But no need to write, no need to call the method here. Okay, no need to call the method to insert the value, because we have the injection, setter injection. Okay, this is the setter injection. Okay, is this clear, boys? Setter injection, how we are performing setter injection. Okay, create one private variable in the developer class, and to access that private variable we need a getters and setters for sure. Okay, so without calling the setter method, we want to insert the value. Okay, how to insert the value without calling the setter method? By using the setter injection we can perform. Okay, the setter injection will be like this. Okay, in the bean of developer, I mean, in the bean of developer, we have to create a one property with the name of variable name, and we can pass the value to this. Okay, and in the main method we can access the value. Okay, in the main method we can access the value. Okay, is this clear for everyone? The setter injection. This is the setter injection. Silence, silence, silence. Why? Confusion, doubts, or anything?
Sir, repeat once again.
Okay. Let's remove this.
So, sir, every time, sir, if I have a more than one variable, so every time we go to the spring.xml file
Mm,
to use
actually,
that
yes,
variable.
yes, but in the Spring Core. Okay, we are not doing this particular format in the Spring Boot. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because it is a Spring Core, na, we have to do manual things, na. So that's why we have to do all these things.
Okay. Or,
So
sir, we have
hmm,
suppose we have to take input from the user.
that's a different thing. So we cannot take anything in the Spring core because we have to use something else. Actually, we are creating the REST APIs, no? So we have to pass it to the server. Okay. So if you want to insert any value properly into the Spring application, we need a server. Okay. So we are not yet discussing that. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So, sir, we cannot use a scanner object here.
Mm, actually not. Actually, so we have to use a scanner object, but in a different structure. So actually, when you are creating a basic Spring Boot application, okay, one Apache Tomcat server will be run. Okay, and by using the Apache Tomcat server, okay, we have to read the values. Okay, to read the values, we have to use the one software called Postman. Okay, we have to use one software called Postman. Okay, we will do all these things. Okay, we can read the values by using the Postman, but not now. Okay, so it's not, I mean, it's not the same as a Hibernate. Okay, so you cannot do all these things in the what do I say, in our basic console. Okay, actually we create the console because we initial stage of a Spring. Okay, so we don't need any console when you are working with a Spring Boot. Okay, so directly we have to access the server by using, so by default, okay, when we are I mean, when we are compiling the Spring Boot application, okay, a Tomcat server will be run. Tomcat will, hello, you at same place. Yeah, good internet also, but is it okay now? Okay, see. Hmm. So actually, when we are running a Spring Boot application, Tomcat server will be run. Okay. By default, Tomcat server will be run. Okay, and this Tomcat server will be run on the local host. Okay, this Tomcat server will be run on local host, and the port number of Tomcat will be 8080. Okay, by using this particular URL, okay, we have to create a URL. By using the URL, we have to pass the values as a objects. Okay, so we have to pass the values as a JSON objects. Okay, we cannot read something in the, okay, console. We cannot use something, the basic structure of Hibernate and all. Okay, this is not a Hibernate, this is not a basic of Java. Okay, it's a framework, no? So we have to design the complete backend. We are designing the proper backend of the enterprises application. So if you want to pass anything, you need a server. Okay, by using the URL of the server, you can pass. Okay, that, I mean, that URL is nothing but a REST API. Okay, we have to create the REST APIs. Okay, from today class only. Okay, in today's class only we can create the basic REST API. Don't worry, I'll tell you. Okay, so from tomorrow, okay, you will, I mean, you will get some interesting content. Okay, don't worry, we can read the inputs from the user, but in a different manner, not in a console.
Okay, sir. So, sir, in Spring, we directly not take input from the console.
Yeah, we have to use something else for that. That
Okay,
something
sir.
else is
Okay.
known as Postman. Okay, I'll let you know. Wait. So other than that, okay, let's see the setter injection. Okay, so setter injection is nothing but okay, I'm removing this getters and setters also. Okay, right now I have one private variable which is the, okay, I have the one private variable which is the developer name. Okay, so I set the value. Sorry, I want to insert the string value. So to access one private variable, definitely we need a getters and setters. So generate getters and setters for this. Generate getters and setters. Okay, now, okay, so we have to set the value. We want to insert the value of a private variable in the, as in the form of setter injection. Okay, so here we have to create some properties. Okay, we have to create some properties. So, okay, within the bean only I am creating, see, okay, property name equal to developer name, and the value attribute. In the value attribute we have to write something like this, Bhaskara. Okay, okay, I inserted some value. Okay, now I want to print the developer name. First dev name is, okay. Now, okay, how to retrieve the data of a private variable from another class? By using the getter. So dev dot getter, get dev. Okay, now we can run this code. In the console we can see the Bhaskara. Okay, actually I gave the single quotations in the Spring Bean Factory. You can remove the address. Okay, first dev name is Bhaskara. Okay, if you want to insert the value of a private variable by using the setter method, okay, we have to, okay, create the setter injection. We can perform the setter injection with the help of property. We can see the property. Okay, within the bean only, guys. Okay, so you cannot write something, this property outside of the bean. If you write something like this, okay, it will raise some issues. Okay, see, it is raising some issues. Okay, the property must be within the bean. Okay, property must be within the bean, because bean is nothing but a class, na. So if you want to create one variable, we have to create inside of a class only, right? So that's right. Okay, you have to do like this. Okay, this is the setter injection. Okay, clear? Hello, guys, setter injection. Okay. Now, okay, I want to insert the, okay, private instance value. Yes, yes. Beans. Okay. Bean and beans. Bean and beans are same thing, no? See, this is the bean factory. Okay, I mean, all this particular place is the bean factory. Okay, and in the bean factory, we are creating the bean. Okay, so if you create another bean, that means if you have another class named as a laptop, you have to create another bean, na? So then we can call it as a beans. That's it. There is nothing different. Hmm. Yeah, session factory has session. Validation factory has validation. Bean factory has bean. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I want to insert the value of this private instance variable by using the constructor. Okay, by using the constructor. So, okay, now we have to understand the constructor injection. Okay, we have to understand constructor injection. Okay, so let's understand constructor injection. Okay, to perform constructor injection, we need a constructor, right? Okay, so go to the source and click on the constructor using the fields, and we have only one field, and generate the constructor. Okay, we have the constructor right now. Okay, so when you are having a constructor, okay, you can pass the constructor value by something like this, right? Developer dev2 equal to new developer. So here you can pass the value something like Bhaskara. Okay, so then constructor will be assigned, I mean, the constructor will assign the Bhaskara value to the developer name. Okay, generally this is the syntax, but okay, we are using the Spring, so we cannot use this syntax. Okay, so to insert values to the constructor, okay, we have to go to the again bean. Okay, in the bean, in the place of property, okay, in the place of property, we have to use constructor argument. Okay, we have to use constructor argument. Now you can type constructor argument. Okay, so we have the constructor argument. Okay, in the constructor argument, you have to pass the your value. Okay, so value I want to pass is, okay, value I want to pass is my name, mascara. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so if you want to insert the value by using the setter method, you have to create the property inside of your bean. Okay, if you want to insert the values by using constructor, then you have to use the constructor argument. That's it. Okay, so this is the constructor injection. Okay, and by using the get method, you can get the value. There is nothing change. Okay, now you can run the code, you will get the same output as per previous one. See, first name is Bhaskara. First name is Bhaskara. Okay, so we are assigning the value of a private instance value by using the constructor of the class. So that's why we have created constructor argument. Okay, constructor argument value, which is the Bhaskara. Okay, isn't it? Is this clear? Constructor injection and setter injection. So when we are using a setter injection in the spring.xml file, okay, in the spring XML file, we have to create a property. Okay, property can have different attributes. Okay, the name attribute defines the name of the variable that we created, developer name, and okay, we have to set the value in the value attribute, which is the value. So here we have to use the our value, and we have to close the property. Okay, and all these things you have to done in the bean of your class, bean id something like we have developer na, and the class is, okay, we have the class in the com dot dev spring dot developer. Hey, whose dog is it? I hate dogs. Hmm. So we have to create the setter injection inside of a bean, okay, with the following syntax. Okay, so if you want to use the constructor injection, you have to change one line. That's it. Okay, you can create the constructor in the, okay, so create constructor with fields. Okay, then you can write the this bean class. So here we have to create the constructor argument. This constructor argument can take the value of value. Okay, here we have to pass the values to the constructor value as Bhaskar. Okay, so this is how you need to assign the values. Okay, so just learn the keywords. Okay, so remember the keywords. That's it. No need to learn everything. Okay, remember the keywords that we are using. Okay, so we are using singleton object, we are mentioning sector, we are mentioning beans, we are mentioning constructor argument. Okay, remember all these keywords which is useful in the spring boot. Okay, we are not going to create all these things in our project. Okay, there is no need to create the spring.xml in our project because we are using the spring boot application. All these things I am explaining only to understand the keywords. Okay, only to understand the things which are running behind the scenes of spring application. Okay, is this clear? Setter injection and constructor injection, boys and girls. Confusion, silence. Why silence? Tell me. Do I need to repeat this? Hello, guys, what's happening? Okay, what about Ganesha, Ketan, Priyanshu, Preeti, Sahana,
Yes,
Rupa?
sir. Clear.
Both
Yes, sir.
sector injection and constructor injection.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, what about Yogesh and all? Yogesh, Gunjan.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Clear.
Okay. So, okay, let's learn one more thing. Okay, let's learn one more thing in the okay this Spring Core framework. Okay, one more thing. It's the final. Okay, I won't tell you anything after this. Okay, so one more thing, and I know this will be the a little bit confusion. Okay, you will get confused about this. Okay, but try to understand. Okay, I will repeat this. Okay, if you didn't understand, I will repeat this. I am there, no, so don't worry, but try to understand. mm, okay, just wait. What's the batch code? DNP. See 2173. Guys, did you remember the your batch code? The first batch. What is your batch code? 2173, no? Okay,
Yes, sir.
2173. Okay, 273. Yeah, Bangalore is for 2172. Okay, so 2173 people. Okay, so some of the 2173 people. Okay, will have to meet someone I forgot. Vibor Goyal. Vibor Goyal is our CTO. Okay, Chief Technology Officer. Okay, so maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you will meet the CTO of Anadip. Okay, maybe he will ask the questions. Maybe he will interact with you about the placements, about the projects that you are doing, about the classes, and just want to know the feedback. That's it, nothing else. Just he wants to know the feedback. Okay, so give the feedback genuinely. Okay, if he ask anything, okay, so better to answer. Okay, don't keep silence. Okay, don't maintain the silence when Vibor asks something. Okay, so he's a very good guy. I mean, so I think he is a 60 years old, but he's very energetic person. Okay, and if you want to see him, you can search in the LinkedIn. In the LinkedIn, we have Vibor Goel. You can see the Vibor Goel. I think he is one of goat in Anudip. No, one of the goat. You can say vice president of iMerit and the CTO of Anudip Foundation. Okay, he wrote so many articles and he has published some papers in the Google also. Okay, so one of the goat of Anudip Foundation. Okay, one of the man behind our deep tech program. Okay, so he worked for vice president for CP and senior engineering manager for Cisco and IBM, so and so. Okay, I think he published some papers I saw. Yeah, he had some patents. You can see patents. Okay, provision of feedback information point of sale or something. He had some patents also. Patent rights he has. Okay, so one of the legend, one of the goat I can say. Okay, so maybe you will meet the Vibor Goel or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I will let you know. Okay, yeah, just for the feedback. Okay, so I want to explain something about okay something which is similar to the setters and setter injection and getter injection and all, right? Okay, but here I want to understand one thing. Okay, I want to understand one thing. Okay, if developer wants to code, he need a laptop, right? So let's create a laptop class in our project. Okay, create a laptop class. laptop and click on the finish. Okay, so here let's write something like public void deploy. Public void deploy. Here I want to print something. Download. Hmm, ready to deploy. One message. Okay, so I have a one class which is named as a laptop, and I have one method in the laptop which is a deploy. Okay, and so actually we have one primitive data value in the developer class which is the string developer name. This is the primitive data value, right? So here, what if we have a one non-primitive? Okay, if what if we have a non-primitive?
So you are not audible. No, sir.
Hello, guys, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There is something issue with mic, but I can hear you properly, but I don't know why. Sometimes. Okay. So actually I'm saying that okay, we have a laptop class, no? In the laptop class we have the deploy method. Okay, and okay, so here we have a one primitive value which is the developer name. Okay, if I want, okay, so if we have a primitive data value, that's a very simple. Okay, we can insert the value by using either constructor injection or by using the setter injection. We can insert the value of one private variable. Okay, what if we have a one non-primitive value? What if we are having a class reference? We have a laptop class reference now. Okay, so I want to use the compile method. I want to use the compile method in the coding. Okay, so we have a coding method in the developer now. So here I want to call the deploy method. I think deploy, right? Yes, deployee, sorry. Okay, so laptop has a deployee and I want to use the deployee method here. Okay, I want to call the deployee method here. Is it possible to run now, guys? I created a one laptop. Okay, I created a one laptop here. Okay, so this laptop, okay, has one method called deployee. Okay, I want to use the deployee method. So how to use it? Okay, so I'm by using the reference of this class. We have a reference like a lap, right? Lap lap. Okay, and by using the reference in the coding method, I am calling the deployee. That's why we are not having any error. Okay, so shall we get output now? Do we get an output in this case? I created a one reference of, I created a reference of laptop. Okay, and by using the reference of the laptop, okay, I am calling the deployee method. Is it possible? Do we get output here?
Yes, sir.
I
Okay,
think
let's try.
component annotation.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we have an error here. Okay, exception in the thread main. Okay, null pointer exception. Okay, Priyanshu, you are saying component attribute, but this is not a Spring Boot. Component is the part of Spring Boot, right? So here you can see cannot invoke laptop.deploy method because this dot laptop is a null value. This dot laptop is a null value. So we have to map it. We have to create a bean for the laptop now. We have to create the bean for the laptop. So how to create a bean and how to set the values? Okay, before creating the bean, okay, our laptop class must need a getters and setters. Okay, must need a getters and setters. Okay, click on the getters and setters for the laptop. Okay, we have the laptop getters and setters. Okay, now okay, we have to pass the reference to the set object. We have to pass the reference to the set method. Okay, if you pass the reference, then this reference will be affected in the global variable. If the reference is affected in the global variable, then this part. Sorry. Actually, so okay, if we want to use the particular value, if I mean we if we want to okay use the laptop.deploy, we need a reference, right? So here to particular this set laptop, okay, to this particular laptop value, we have to perform the setter injection as we did in the earlier program. Okay, we are performing the setter injection. No, same thing we have to do. Okay, so we have to perform the setter injection to invoke the laptop.deploy method. Okay, we have to perform setter injection. How to perform the setter injection now? Okay, so please tell me how to perform the setter injection, ma. So I want to perform setter injection here. Tell me how to perform setter injection. What is the syntax?
Properties.
Hmm. property
Name
name, which is a lap.
and
Okay.
value.
And if we pass a value here, this is not a one primitive data value to pass, right? We cannot pass something like 5 or 6 to the laptop because it is a class. Okay, we have a class reference. Okay, so
Yes,
how to
sir.
do it now? So we cannot use the value attribute here. Okay, we have to use something different. Okay, so before working with the setter injection, we want to perform some another thing. Okay, so actually I told you no. So everything in the Spring Boot, okay, everything in the Spring Boot must be annotated with the component attribute. That also Priyanshu told us, right? But we are in the Spring Core, we are not using Spring Boot, we are using Spring Core. So every class must be had a one bean in the spring.xml. Okay, so if we want to execute a one particular class, if you want to perform some operations with the class, we need to create the bean of the class. Okay, we have to create the bean of the class. Okay, so here I am creating the bean of the class. Bean, okay, id equal to, I'm using some id as lap. Okay, lap is the id. Okay, and okay, if we mention the lap, okay, what will be the class? Which class we have to invoke? We have to invoke the, okay, laptop class in the com dot dev spring. So here we have to mention com dot dev spring dot laptop class. Okay, now we had a one bean for the, we have a one bean for the laptop class. Okay, so whenever we are assigning, okay, whenever we are assigning the, okay, one value, whenever we want to initiate the class, okay, we have to perform setter injection, obviously. Okay, so here we have to refer one variable, we have to refer one variable which is the reference. Okay, what is the reference value here? Okay, we have to call the laptop class. When we have to call the laptop class? If the id is lap. So here I am passing the id in the lap in the reference attribute. Okay, in the reference we can mention the lap. Okay, we can mention the lap. Okay, now you can run the same code. We performed setter injection. Now we are getting the output ready to deploy. We got it. Okay, this is how we need to perform. Okay, guys, is this clear?
Please could
So
you rephrase once?
yeah. I am removing this. Okay, just remove this and remove the property also. Okay, so what I write here, okay, let's, you can check here. Okay, so I created a laptop class now. Okay, first of all I created the laptop class. Okay, and laptop class has the one method called deploy. Laptop class has one method called deploy. And the, I mean, I want to call this lap deploy class, deploy method in the developer class. I want to execute the deploy method in the developer class. That's why I created a one reference here. I created the reference private laptop lap. Actually, when we are using the Hibernate, when we are implementing the mappings one to many or many to one, we are performing same thing. Did you remember? Okay, so private laptop lab, one student can have one or many laptops. Okay, we perform something like that. Nah? So same thing we are performing here. Okay, private laptop lap. Okay, lap is a variable of laptop. Okay, remember. Okay, so okay, we need to initiate some value, right? Actually we need to create a object for the lap, and that object will be passed to the lap variable. We have to create the object for laptop, and that object, okay, we have to pass it to the lap variable. Okay, to pass the object to the laptop variable, lap variable, we need a getters and setters because it is a private variable. Okay, to pass the object of laptop class to the laptop variable, okay, we need a getters and setters because it is a private variable. Is this clear for all? Clear?
Yes, sir.
No? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we have a object of lap, okay, we can call the method, right? Okay, laptop will be assigned to the laptop object. If we converted the lap variable into lap object, then we can call the deploy method same thing like this, right? So we have created everything except the object. Okay, we have created everything except the object. We have to create the object of laptop, then we have to invoke, when we have to pass the object of laptop to the setter method. We have to pass object of laptop to the setter method. That's what our task is. Okay, to create one object in the Spring core, what we have to do, we need to create a bean in the spring.xml as per our previous discussions, right? So here you can see okay, I am creating the new bean for the laptop class. Okay, so new bean id is lap. Okay, lap is the id, or lap2, anything you can give. Okay, lap2, it's okay to mention like this. And if you mention a lap2, lap2, I want to call the one class called laptop in the dev spring package, com dot dev spring dot laptop. Whenever the user is mentioning the id laptop 2, okay, id laptop 2, so I want to, okay, call the laptop object. Okay, so here we have a laptop object with the name of lap2. Okay, we have the laptop object with the name of lap2, isn't it? Is this clear? We have a
Yes,
laptop
sir.
right now. Okay, we have a laptop object right now. Okay, and we have to pass the laptop object to the lap variable that we mentioned, that we created in the developer. Okay, we have to pass the laptop object to the this variable, right? We have to pass the object to lap variable. Okay, now how to pass the value to the lap variable? It is a private variable, we cannot pass directly. Obviously, either we need a constructor injection or we need a setter injection. So I am fan of setter injection, I am doing the setter injection. Now you can see the setter injection. Okay, so how to create the setter injection? So if we want to create the setter injection, we have to use the syntax of this property we have to create. Okay, I'm creating the property. Okay, I'm creating the property. Now, okay, this property, we have to mention the name of the property, right? Name of the property is lap. Okay, name of the property is lap. And to this particular lap variable, okay, this is the variable name. Na? To this particular lap variable, we have to pass the object of the laptop class. We have to pass the object of the laptop class. Okay, how to pass it? So here, this laptop class has a one ID. Na? This laptop class has one ID as laptop2, right? So we have to initiate that laptop2 in the setter injection. So how to do that? So we have to pass the reference of lap class. Okay, we have to reference of that bean. The bean reference is lap2. Okay, the id of the bean and the reference must be equal, ma. Okay, if your id and reference are different, okay, you won't get it. Okay, your reference of your variable and id of the bean must be equal, then only you will get the object, then only you can assign the object value to the variable. Okay, so we created the object here. This is the object of a laptop class, and we are referencing the laptop object to the laptop variable, to the laptop variable. Okay, that's what we are performing. Okay, we assign the laptop object to the laptop variable, so everything will work fine. If we have a laptop object, then okay, we can happily call the deploy method, right? So we have a laptop object. By using the object of the laptop, we can call the deploy method. Okay, lap has the object of laptop because we performed, okay, injection, setter injection. Okay, now you can pass the you can run the code. Now you will get the output. We got the output. Okay, ready to deploy is coming from the laptop class. This is how we have to perform the
Sir, your voice is not coming.
I can hear you, Rahan. Hello.
Now it's okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is how we have to perform the setter injection for the non-primitive values. Okay, we performed setter injection for primitive data values and we perform setter injection for non-primitive values. Okay, is this clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is what I want to explain in the Spring Core. Okay, I want to explain the Spring Core concept, guys. Remember. Okay, so we discussed about the dependency injection, we discussed about singleton object, and we discussed about setter injection, we discussed about the constructor injection also. Okay, tell me fast. Okay, tell me one thing. Okay, so if I want to create a object, okay, in the Spring Core, how to create a object of a one particular class? If I want to create a object of one class in the Spring Core, how to create it?
Sir, when due to the Spring.xml file,
In the Spring.xml code.
there we use of beans and the class name and the reference variable.
Yeah, if you want to create the object, we have to create the bean in the Spring.xml. Okay, remember this point. That's it. And remember how we are performing dependency injection also. Okay, so we are not going to write this Spring, this bean, okay, this setter injection, getter injection in the Spring Boot. But I want to understand. Okay, so sorry, I want you to understand the keywords, how the things are happening behind the screen. Okay, so if you want to learn the shortcut, first we have to learn the content, then only we can move for the shortcut now. So this is the content, we can go for the shortcut now, we can create the shortcut for this all these things. Okay, how to create shortcuts for all these things? By using the Spring Boot we can get the shortcuts, because Spring Boot is a one one big container where we are having all the basic configuration, right? Yeah, is this clear about Spring Core, ma? Any doubts in the Spring Core concept?
No, sir.
Anybody, any doubts? Okay, so before learning Spring Boot, okay, so we completed the Spring Core now. Okay, so here let's understand the problems of Spring Core. What is the problems of Spring Core? So we have a lot of problems now. So let's discuss all those problems. Okay, problems in Spring Core. Okay, the first problem is, okay, what is the first problem? Multiple or many steps to configure application. Okay, okay, to create a basic configuration we have to do many steps. Okay, and it is a huge framework, without any shortcuts or automated methods, right? So in Spring Core, we created a configuration by using Spring.xml. We mentioned so many things. Okay, we added dependencies. Okay, all these things we added. No, so this is a hectic task. Okay, and to build and deploy classes. Okay, to build and deploy classes, it is also a hectic task. So, too difficult to create and to use the basic classes and methods. Okay, so these are the problems in the Spring Core application. Okay, these are the problems in the Spring Core application. Okay, so we have to achieve all these problems. Okay, we have to achieve all these problems with the Spring Boot, the iconic, the legend, the Spring Boot. Okay, we have to clear all of our problems by using the Spring Boot application. Okay, so here, okay, this Spring Boot is the combination of two different keywords, ma. One is the Spring, and one is boot means bootstrap. Boot means bootstrap, you know. So here we can understand one thing. Spring is a framework that we are going to use, which is used to design the enterprises application. Okay, Spring is a framework to design enterprises application. Enterprise application. And coming to the bootstrap, what is meant by bootstrap? Bootstrap is nothing but a, okay, so bootstrap the all the applications from the scratch. Okay, so bootstrap the all the configuration steps, bootstrap the all the created steps. Okay, so bootstrap means combining the basic configuration, combining the basic steps to create the Spring application. Okay, combine the all basic steps and configuration to create app, to create a application. Okay, so the combination of Spring and Bootstrap will is created as a Spring Boot. Okay, Spring Boot. Okay, this Spring Boot makes easy to create the standalone, okay, production grade Spring based applications. Okay, so that you can ready to run. Okay, you can create the standalone production grade applications. Okay, that are to ready to run projects. Okay, so here I can write something like this: Spring can create ready to run standalone production grade applications. Okay, standalone means, okay, so no need of any external support. Okay, so no need, I mean, if we create a Hibernate project, we have to take care about the support of SQL connector. So and there is a lot of dependencies, separate dependencies, and there is no, I mean, we have to create the server to communicate. Okay, all these things we need, but this Spring Boot has all the things inbuilt. Okay, we don't need a server even. Okay, so if we want to create a REST API, we don't need server. Okay, it is a serverless. Okay, that's why we can say standalone production grade applications. Okay, this Spring Boot can gives us, okay, four important things for us. Okay, four important things for us. Okay, what it gives. Okay, Spring Boot gives four important things for us. Okay, one is opinionated. I hope it is correct. Just 1 minute. Okay, sorry. Hmm. So Spring will gives us a opinionated thing. Okay, I hope it is correct, no? Opinionated. Okay, opinionated. That means okay, default configuration to reduce the developer efforts. Okay, opinionated. That means it gives us default configuration to reduce developers efforts. Okay, and the second thing which provide convention over the configuration. I already told you this. Convention over configuration. Okay, the main motto of Spring Boot is a convention over configuration. That means in the okay, if you design the 100 applications, 80 percentage of the configuration is the similar structure. 80 percentage of the, I mean, 80 percentage of the thing, 80 percentage of the configuration has a similar structure. Okay, the remaining 20 percentage is according to your choice. For example, some people are using NoSQL, some people are using SQL, some people are using Oracle database, some people are using MySQL database. You can select your own things. Okay, that is depend, I mean, that's depend upon us. Okay, that's depend upon the developer's wish. Okay, company wish. So okay, we have to change the 20 percentage of the configuration is unique. With the remaining 80 percentage, sorry, yeah, the remaining 80 percentage of the configuration is similar to the all the applications. Okay, so here, okay, it gives the standard alone. Standard alone. That means it is a serverless. Okay, it is a serverless. Okay, ready to run generally. Okay, it is a ready to run application. It gives ready to run application. Okay, it gives the ready to run application for us. And production ready. Okay, production ready. That means okay, so whenever we completed the everything in the project, okay, we completed the testing, we completed the development, everything we are done. Now we want to, okay, we want to make our project into the live. Okay, so that means we have to deploy our project. Okay, you can deploy the Spring project with three different commands, just three commands. By using three commands we can deploy the Spring project. Okay, that is a ready to deploy. Okay, we can get a ready to deploy structure in the Spring Boot. Okay, these are the main four things that we got from the Spring Boot application. Okay, and in the Spring Core we have the okay issues only these things, no? Okay, we have the issues only these things. So Spring Boot can achieve all the issues that we are facing with the Spring Core. Okay, so we are facing so many issues in the Spring Core, right? Okay, so we are it is too difficult to understand the project flow and everything in the Spring Core. So that's why we eliminated all the confusion by using the Spring Boot. Okay, so now we can create the Spring Boot application. We can create a basic REST APIs. We can create a simple REST APIs in the Spring Boot applications. Okay, so generally we can create the two, I mean, Spring Boot application in two different types. Okay, we can create the Spring Boot in two different types. Okay, so I will explain you those things as well. Okay, but after coming from the break. So let's take a break for 10, I mean 15 minutes. After coming from the break, we can go with the Spring Boot application. Today we can discuss the basic API. Okay, what is meant by API and how to create a REST API in Spring, and we can discuss all those things. app in two ways. Okay, the first way to do is, okay, we can go to the Eclipse or a Spring tool suite that we are using, and you can create a Spring Starter project. Okay, we can create a Spring Starter project which will create a direct Spring Boot application for us. Okay, yesterday we already created a Spring Starter project, right? So, okay, this is the a normal way. Okay, we will get all the things about the all the things about the Spring Boot project when we created a Spring Starter project. Okay, now we have the another method also. Okay, that is the second method. Okay, we can create a Maven application, create a Maven application as usually the quick start 1.1 only. Okay, so in the Maven application, okay, so in the Maven application we can add two important dependencies. Add two important dependencies. Okay, if we add those dependencies, no, our Maven project, our Maven project will convert it into the Spring Boot application. Okay, if you add two dependencies in the Maven project, then that particular Maven project will work as a Spring Boot application. Okay, so let's see, let's create two different applications. Okay, so whatever, so you want to choose which one, the first one or a second one? By creating the Spring Starter project also we can create a Spring Boot application. By creating the Maven application, we can add two dependencies in the Maven, then we will get a Spring Boot application. Okay, so which one you prefer?
Second one, sir.
Second one. Okay, let's create the second one then. Okay, let's close this project. Okay, let's close all the tabs in the project. And here, okay, we have our dev spring, and now let's create a new file. Okay, Maven project we need. Okay, we need to create a Maven project. Okay,
Sir, your screen is
and
paused.
Sir, screen is paused.
my screen is paused. Okay, just give me a moment. I will change the network. Which time? Okay, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Okay, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Okay, so we will have a meeting with Vibor. Okay, so 2173 we have. Hey, my name is Chitturi Bhaskar Sai. They write Chitturi Sai Bhaskar. Okay, we have 10 members, guys. Okay, so they pick 10 members from the list. Renu, Priyanshu, Rupa, Priya, Rahul, Divya, Suraj, Nishant, Ketan, Astosh. Okay, okay. Total 40 students. Each batch from 10 members from each batch.
For what?
To attend the meeting with Vibor sir. The CTO I told you, no? He also messaged. All please ensuring the following. All students show up. Students will have to try out the following short code as a homework. Okay, take a sentence as a user input. Break up the sentence into words and sort the words based on the length of the word and print out. Okay. Mm, 40 minutes. Answer any doubts. Please ask the students to come prepared. Okay. 20 minutes. Verify understanding of lab days, daily assessment, weekly assessments, and all. Okay. Okay. So you have to complete a one program. You have to write a one program. I mean the 10 members. Okay. The 10 members whose name I mentioned here. Okay. They pick 10 members for the batch. Okay. I don't know how they pick. Astosh, Ketan, Nishant, Suraj, Divya, Rahul, Priya, Rupa, Priyanshu, Renu. Okay. Okay. So these 10 people have to complete the task, which is this one. Okay. So take a sentence. Okay. That means you have to read the string from the user. Okay. So you have to break up the sentence into the words. Okay. So and sort the words based on the length of the the length of the words. Okay. So example, if user input sentence is hi, welcome to this mentoring session, so they have to you have to print hi, this welcome session mentoring. Okay, based on the length of the string you have to print the elements. Okay, this will be your task. Okay, so please prepare, guys. Okay, so maybe sir will ask few questions. Okay, and you can ask doubts also. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll explain. I mean, I will message in the group. Okay, don't worry. I will message the names and the task also. Yes, Ketan.
Sir, how to input long string? When I put a string with spaces, the error shows.
Sorry. Spring.
String, sir, string. When I input a long string with spaces, an error
Hmm.
raise.
Okay, so if you want to read a long string, that means including the spaces and everything, then you have to use the next line instead of a next. Okay, that's what you are asking, Ketan. Hello, Ketan. So actually, that's a nice doubt. The string values. Okay, so if you enter something like Bhaskara space Sai, and the next will take only the Bhaskara, it won't read the Sai because you gave the space means that's another string, that things like it, that's another string, so it won't take the Sai, right? So in this type of situations we have to use the next line, that's it. Okay, if
Sir,
you want
but
to read the hmm,
sir, when I use next line, then
hmm.
he skipped the program skipped the scanner object for that particular next line.
See,
And
actually, when you are reading the multiple elements from the user, okay, then we have to use the next method. Then we are using the next method generally. But right now you have only one element to read from the user, right? You have to read only one sentence. That's it. You cannot read anything. Okay, you have to read one sentence. Okay, so that's why here in this particular program you can use the next line. So if the particular expression is skipping to read, so you can declare an empty next line. Okay, you can mention a one empty next line. Okay, in the thing, or empty next also you can mention. Okay, for example, okay, so
Sir, your voice. Sir, your voice is not coming out.
So you are not audible.
hello, am I audible now? Yeah, what happening? Hello.
Yes, sir. Now you are
Yes, sir.
audible.
Okay. So I'm saying that. Okay. So in the first line of input, we are reading the integer. Okay, which is a value. Okay, and in the second line, we are reading the string. So here, if you use the next line method. Okay, for example, you are using the next line method. Again, you want to read another integer, which is a b. Okay, which is a b. Okay, now here you are using some next integer. Okay, so when you are reading something like this, okay, when you are working something like this, okay, definitely your okay thing will be got, I mean skipped for sure. Okay, b got skipped. So to eliminate this confusion, okay, here we can use the okay empty next method. You can use the empty next method to clear the buffer. Okay, actually we have to clear the buffer, so that's why we have to use the next method. Okay, so instead of next line method, if you use the okay next method, now no need to use the any buffer, because next won't take anything after the space, right? So then we didn't get any issues. If you use the next line method, we have to use the buffer, we have to cancel the buffer with the next method, because next will eliminate the string which is after coming from the space. So okay, we can remove it. Okay, so you have to use next and the next line at a one statement. Is that okay, Ketan? Please try this particular format to read the integers
O-
and the strings at a time.
Okay, sir.
But
Thank
in
you,
this
sir.
particular program, okay, in this particular program, okay, we are reading only one particular string. So here you can use the next line method to read the string. Okay, use the next line method. I'm not going to give the answer for this. Okay, you have to complete the question. Okay, I'm not giving any answer for you. Okay, let's discuss the our thing. Okay, so here we have to create the one Maven application. Okay, and in the Maven application, we have to add the two dependencies. If we add two dependencies, then we will get a we will get a Spring Boot application. So here, okay, we can, we can use the same workspace. Actually, it is using the workspace of okay. So let me remove the dev spring. It is creating the one project in another project. Okay. So you have to create the quick start 1.1 only internal. Okay, the same project. Okay, here we can create the new project. Okay. First spring, first boot, first spring boot. Okay, first spring boot. Okay, so here dot first spring boot, and you can click on the finish. Okay, now it will create a one Maven project for us. See, it created a one Maven project. Okay, so after creating the Maven project, here in the pom.xml we have to add two dependencies. I told you na, we have to add those two dependencies. Okay, those two dependencies is, okay, the first dependency is spring starter. Okay, spring starter parent. Okay, actually it is spring boot na, spring boot starter parent. Okay, and spring boot starter web. Okay, spring boot starter web. So we have to add these two dependencies in the pom.xml to create a spring boot application from Maven application. Okay, so remember these two names. Okay, now let's go to the Google, and here, okay, search for Maven spring boot starter parent. Starter parent. Okay, you can click on this. So we can use the any recent version. Okay, 2.7.4. Okay, here you copy the repository, and here in the dependencies we have to paste our dependency. We added some dependencies. Now you can see, okay, there is nothing, okay, there is nothing involved in the Maven dependencies, but the important thing that we need to add is spring starter web, spring boot starter web. That is the important one. So here we can write now spring boot starter web. Page for spring boot starter web, and this is the important one. Okay, so here we can use the any version. Okay, so we can use the same version which we used as a spring parent. Okay, 2.7.4. the hashed one in the web frameworks, which is the top one. Okay, copy the code, and here in the dependencies list, let's add. Okay, now you can see in the Maven dependencies we have only one JUnit. Okay, and if you place this spring boot starter, you will get all the files. Okay, just wait for a few minutes. We'll get all the things in the Maven dependencies list. Yeah, we got it. Now you can see Maven dependencies have so many things. Okay, it has so many things. Yeah, sorry. So we mentioned the spring boot starter web. Okay, and we got all the Maven dependencies that we need basically for the spring boot application. Okay, so and here when we created a spring starter project, by defaultly it is taking some, okay, 17th version, 17th version of Java SDK, right? But it is taking Java, okay, 1.5 version only. So let's add something here. Okay, let's add Java Maven compiler source target. Setting the source and target for Java compiler. So here you can copy these two lines for the properties. So we have some properties, paste it here. So here let's make it as a 17. Okay, so we have everything that we need. Okay, now our application is converted into the Spring Boot application. Okay, let's see. Okay, now you can see whenever we added this spring starter boot, okay, you can see one message here, boot. You can see the message now. You can see the message in the, okay, brackets. That is a boot. Okay, that means, okay, we converted our application into the, our Maven application into the Spring Boot application. Okay, so this is how we need to create a Spring Boot application from Maven archetype quick start 1.1. Okay, now we made some changes now, so let's update the project. Marvin, click on the update, force update, and click OK. Okay. Just wait, it is updating still. Now, okay, our Java environment is converted to the Java 17th. Okay, yes, we have everything. Right now, let's open our, okay, app.java. Okay, let's open our app.java. So our app.java is the basically simple main file. Okay, simple main. Okay, it is simple main class. So we have to convert the simple main class into the Spring Boot main class. Okay, so we will convert that. What happened to you, baby? Come on. I don't know what happened today. I think today is bad day for me. See, my laptop is stuck. My internet is broken. There is no power in my home. Okay, so this is the basic main class right now, right? So I want to convert this main class into the Spring Boot main application. Okay, to do that, we have to do two different things, ma. So the first thing we need to do is Spring Boot. Okay, you have to add Spring Boot annotation. Okay, let's add Spring Boot annotation to this class. Spring Boot application. This is a Spring Boot application. Okay, we have to use the annotation called Spring Boot application for main class. Okay, this is our main class, and import the Spring Boot application from boot configuration. Imported that. Okay, and in the place of output, okay, in the place of output, we need to start running. We need to start running of our application. So here we have to start our application by using the run method. Actually, we discussed the run method, na? So run method will return application context for us, so and so. Okay, so we have to do that. Okay, so here we can write spring application dot run. Okay, we want to start a spring application. Okay, and dot run. Okay, so here we have to define the class name, which is the app dot class, and the args is the command line arguments as usually. Okay, so we have created a spring application dot run. Okay, this I will explain what this spring application dot run can do. Okay, this spring application dot can do. Okay, so it sets up the entire default configuration, and it will create a spring application context, and it will start the Tomcat server. Okay, it can do three important tasks. This one line of a Spring Boot application can do three important tasks. The first thing is it sets up the entire default configuration for our application and starts the Spring application context, and it starts the Tomcat server. Okay, it can do three different tasks by a single line. Okay, now let's run this application. Okay, let's run this application. Okay, something will happen. Okay, we can run this application run app as run as a Java application, basic Java application. We can run as a Spring Boot application also, but as of now I want to run as a Java application. Let's see how it will perform. Run as a Java application. Now we can open the console. Here in the console we can see the output. Come on, yes. Okay, we got some output. Okay, just wait, something is happening. Okay, something is happened. Okay, something will happen. So here, okay, we have an output now, Spring so and so. Okay, so here we have so many things. We got some loggers information, some logging information is done, right? So when you can see this, okay, you can see some messages. You can see some messages. Okay, in the messages you can see one thing: Tomcat localhost initializing the Spring embedded web application context. Okay, and you can see the message called Tomcat started on the port 8080 with context path empty. Okay, so the Tomcat server is started running in the port of 8080. Okay, so we have started the Tomcat server. Okay, did we started? No, Spring is started. Okay, so Spring is started everything. So now we can use the Tomcat server for our application. Okay, now let's see what are the things that involved in the this 8080 port. If we access this 8080 port, something can happen, right? Something can happen. Okay, let's open that 8080 port. So Tomcat creates a local server, right? Okay, do you know what is the address of local server? Anybody? Address of local server. Okay, we created one server, we started one server. Okay, the server is running on 8080 port. Do you know how to access that 8080 port on our local system or on local server? Anybody? And that means it created local internet for us. It created some local internet for us. Okay, so we have to use one URL to access our local host. Okay, so we can do two things. Either we can write the address 127.0.0.1, or we can write local host, or we can write the local host. Okay, so local host is equal to the 127.0.0.1. Okay, both can we do. Okay, so open browser here. Okay, type localhost 8080, run. Okay, so we got some white label error page. Okay, the application has no explicit mapping. Okay, something we got it. Okay, some issue we got it at least, right? Okay, and if you use 127 also, it will perform 127.0.0.1 colon 8080. You can run this. Okay, we got the same thing. Okay, actually I zoomed it. White label error page. Okay, this application has no explicit mapping for so and so. Okay, both are similar one. Okay, so if anyone asked you about what is the address of your local system, local server, then you have to mention 127.0.0.1. And okay, this is a local server, no? And we got one message called, okay, error not found, status 404. Okay, in computer science history, the number 404 has a lot of weightage. You know, if we get a 404, it's our favorite error. Okay, 404 means not found. Okay, you are searching for something, but it is not found in the application. Okay, that's what we are getting. Okay, so 404 is the favorite error for us. Remember, it is our favorite error. Okay, so so we got something. Okay, we got some issue. Okay, now if I type 127.0.0.1 8080, అరే ఎవడరా నువ్వు, నేను క్లాస్లో ఉండేటప్పుడే వస్తారు అన్ని అనౌన్స్మెంట్స్. క్లాస్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు ఇచ్చాయి. ఓకే, సారీ. Okay, so actually 127.0.0.1 8080, this is our address to access our Apache server, right? So if I type hello here, if I type a hello, and okay, I want the response of hi. Okay, if I type hello, okay, here I want to see the hi. Okay, if I type hello 127.0.0.8080 slash hello, if I type hello, okay, so I want to get hi. Okay, so the I want server can respond for my message, for my request. Okay, so this is the REST API. So okay, now we have to create the REST APIs by using the Spring Boot application. Okay, so REST APIs is nothing but, okay, I'll open one Paint. Okay, so actually, what's happening? Okay, so here we have our application. Okay, this is our application, and this is our server. This is our Tomcat server. Okay, actually this is not the server, this is our application. Okay, or this is a database. Let's assume this is a database. Okay, so here I want to, okay, this database has some files, like, so it has some product, it has some products, or it has some some topics, or it has something. Okay, so I want to get the products of database from to my application. So here I will request, okay, I will raise a request, okay, from my, sorry, okay, I will raise a request. Here I will request the server. I will request it. Okay, so hey, I am requesting you. Okay, so for to display products, okay, so please display the products that you have in your database. Okay, I'm requesting for that. So okay, you have to, okay, send a request in a proper manner, right? You have to send a request in proper manner. So that's, I mean, how to send the request to this. So here we can access the local host 8080, and here we can ask the products. Okay, I want to get the products that you have in your database. Okay, this is how we have to write it. Okay, and if we ask the information, if we request the information, then our database can respond to us. Okay, our database can respond, that means it will send some response to us. Okay, it will send a response. Okay, so it will send a response. Okay, now we will get the products here. Now we can get the products that stored in the database. Okay, generally this particular part, okay, this particular address or this particular phase is known as the REST API. Okay, so we are requesting, okay, we are requesting, and that particular, I mean, when we are requesting, no, so it has to display something, it has to display something. Okay, that something, this collection of this particular method is known as the REST APIs. Okay, so if I type localhost colon 8080 slash, okay, users, okay, it has to display list of users. If I type something, okay, like topics, it has to display list of topics. Okay, so right now, okay, as we are doing the simple project, okay, we are in the beginning stage of a Spring Boot application. Okay, so here I will write, I mean, so I will send a one request as a hello. It's for a pain actually. Okay, so I will search for a hello, and I want to see the response as a hi. Okay, this is the request I am sending to the server, and this is the response that I got from the server. Okay, so how to get that, how to get a response, okay, how to display the response from our application. Okay, we are the server now, we are the server, and we have to display the content by ourselves, right? So here we need to do something. Okay, we need to do something. Okay, let's create a one simple controller. Okay, actually we have to control the request, right? We have to control the request, and we have to process the request, then we can send the response. Actually control, okay, we have to control the request. Basically this controller, okay, we have to create the controller to handle request from the user. Okay, we have to see we have to write the controller. Okay, so generally let's see what is a controller and everything. Okay, so basically a Java okay, controller is a Java class, okay, which has some annotations marked in it, which has some annotations. Okay, so these annotations lets Spring knows what is the URL that we are mapping, and what should we happen, what we send the response. Okay, how to, what we send the response we have to do. Okay, controller is a Java application. Okay, I'll write it. So it is a Java class which has some annotations, some unique annotations, marked in it, Okay, these annotations annotations informs the Spring about, okay, what is the URL we are getting, what is the URL that we are mapping, and okay, what should happen when the request covers, when the request arrives us, when the user requests us. Okay, so we have to create the response. What should happen, what should happen when a request arrived, or when request, how to write that, when request arrived is not good one, no? First comes with URL. Okay, then it comes with the URL. So we have to prepare for that. Okay, whenever the user sends some request, and we have to prepare the request in the controller. Control user is the main one who can handle the request and will send the response. Right. So here I am just creating a one controller. Okay, I am just creating a one simple controller. Okay, so here, okay, so I want to create a new class. Okay, so hello controller. Okay, actually we need to request hello, right? So hello controller, and I want to store this in the separate package, controller package. I want to store this in the controller package. Okay, in the controller package we have the hello controller. Okay, we have hello controller. Okay, so Spring has a one unique feature, amma. Spring has a one unique feature. If you want to create a controller, okay, so you have to use the controller annotation. If you want to create a service, you have to use the service annotation. Okay, so if you want to create some mapping, you have to use some mapping information. Okay, if you want to create an object, you have to use some annotations. Okay, it has so many annotations to work. Okay, so right now I want to create this hello controller as the my controller. This is my controller of my REST API. Okay, this is my controller, right? So that's why here I can write something like hello, I mean REST controller. This is my REST controller. Okay, this is my REST controller. So what is meant by REST, amma? What is meant by REST? What is the full form of REST? I already told you about the full form of REST API, na? What is the REST API? What is the full form of REST? Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir. It's a representational state transfer API.
Okay, representational state transfer API. Okay, so that's the full form of REST, right? So here, okay, that's why I'm creating the this is my REST public void or public, sorry, return string. Okay, I want to return the string from this method. Okay, public string say hi. Say hi is a method. Okay, so here I can return hi user. Okay, I want to return hi user. Some message. I'm returning something to the REST controller. So okay, so actually, so we have to handle the REST API, no? So okay, we can handle 127.0.0.8 so on. So here, I mean, till here we can handle. Okay, so okay, we want to execute this hi method whenever user request hello. Whenever user type hello at the URL, we want to execute this particular method. Right, we want to execute this particular method. So here we have to use one important annotation, which is the request mapping, okay, request mapping. We have to import this request mapping from the annotations of Spring framework. Okay, so here we have to use this, okay, slash hello. Whenever user enters address of our URL along with slash hello, then you can respond to the user as hi. Okay, respond to the user hi. Okay, so here we can write something. Okay, let's check. Okay, so whenever we are using the empty 127.0.0.80 something, okay, we are getting some error. So here I'm requesting hello. Okay, so I'm requesting hello to the server. Now it will display something. It has to display something. Okay, sorry, actually we have to compile the program na. We made some changes, we have to run it again. Okay, we need to run it again. The server has to start now. Yes, the server is started. Now you can respond, you can request it. Okay, so hi user, we got it. Okay, whenever we are typing 127.0.0.18080 slash hello, okay, we are getting some message from the server. So we are requesting something to the server, and the server is also responding with the message hi. Okay, so this is how we need to create the REST API, Suma. Okay, this is how we need to create the REST APIs. Okay, whenever you are typing www.facebook.com, server also responding something like this. Okay, they designed, okay, that pages when we requested something. Okay, so we requested something like this na, www.facebook.com/login. Okay, I want to log in, so it will display login page. Okay, so whenever you enter the www.facebook.com/sign up, you will create, you will get a sign up page of the Facebook. Okay, they are handling requests something like this. Okay, we are also handling the request, right? So this is how we have to create the local server. This is how we have to work on it. Okay, and give me a moment. Mm, okay, so guys, wait a bit. I'm having some meeting with my team. Drop out discussion. Okay, this is the issue when you have a, you know, uh, promotion. Okay, you have to do a lot of things. Okay, when you joined in a company, no, so just ask us, ask the HR to give the hike, not the promotion. Okay, just give me a moment. Hello guys, are you there? Yes, I'm back. Okay. Guys, how many of you there? Ask your friends to join back to the session. Okay. So do I need to message in the group? So let's leave a message. Maybe some people will join, no? Okay. Okay. So actually there is meeting to create another sheets and something. Okay, what we are discussing? Where are we? We run the program. Okay, this is a Swing application. Okay, so you got it, no? So how we are handling the request coming from the URL? Okay, this is the control of our application. Whenever the user says, okay, localhost slash 8 I mean localhost 8080. Okay, if he enters something like this, okay, then we can mention the error. But if he request with a some message, okay, if he request with a some message like hello, okay, so you are, I mean he is requesting hello, okay, so we can print hi user, okay, so that we can print the response. Okay, so this is the simple REST API. Okay, we created a simple REST API to get communication. Okay, isn't it? Is it is clear?
Sir, how we get the output on the Chrome?
And we are returning, na? We are returning the content. We are giving the response, right? So the response is coming from the Chrome. So where are we requesting? We are requesting through URL, okay, of the Chrome, and that's why we got the response from the server. Okay, the server response will be displayed on the website. That is the main theme of a web page, right? For example, okay, if I type something like Facebook, okay, slash login, login, okay, the login page of the Facebook will display our website, right? No, actually it will display my home page. I think I logged in, that's why. Okay, let's open a new incognito window. If I facebook.com/login, okay, if I want to log in, okay, the login page will be appeared on the browser. Okay, how it is appearing on the browser? Okay, because we are getting the response from the server is responding to us, server responded to our request, okay, and it displayed on the web page. And similarly, okay, here we are requesting the server for something, we're requesting the server for something, and we are getting the output in the web page. This is the web page. Okay, and actually this is not the proper way to do. Actually we have to work with the Postman. Okay, so please go to the postman.com. So there you can download the Postman software. Okay, so I mean actually we can discuss this Postman tomorrow, because you know, so we can write some APIs. Okay, we can create some good APIs. Okay, then we'll get to understand this. Here is the download button. Okay, download for the desktop app. Okay, Windows app, Mac and Linux. Okay, so I mean we are using Windows. You can click on the Windows icon and the download link will be appeared here. Come on. Okay, so we are getting the things because the server is responding to us. Okay, this is the matter of server, not the matter of, okay, our, you know, system.out.windows or something else. Okay, this is not our console. Na? Okay, download Windows 64-bit Postman app and install it. When you install this software, you will have a Postman like this. Okay, the Postman. Okay, you can open the Postman. So that is a simple REST API that we have created to see the message from the server. Okay, you can open the Postman. Guys, remember again, I'm warning you, if you are using a Postman, okay, definitely you need to have good space in your RAM. Okay, because we are running everything very heavily. Okay, Google Chrome, Spring Tool Suite, and the Postman, and we are running Tomcat server. Okay, definitely our laptop RAM going to die because of all these things. See, okay, how much time it is taking for my laptop, even though I'm having it something. So I'm planning to upgrade my laptop. I will upgrade now. I have to upgrade this. Okay, so this is the interface of Postman. Okay, so we can update. I mean, so I'm using Postman from long ago, so that's why it is showing some updates. Okay, now actually I wrote the API here. You can see I wrote the address 127.0.0.1 8000. Okay, so actually these are the protocols. I will explain the protocols tomorrow. Tomorrow we can discuss the protocols and everything. Okay, so actually make this thing as a get. Okay, by default request mapping is the get protocol. Okay, request mapping will work on the get protocol by default. So, and this is the request I want to send to the server, and I am sending the request to the server, and you will get the output here. Okay, sending the request, and here we got the output as hi user. Okay, so this is how we need to use the thing.
Sir, where we
Okay,
mention any relationship between the Chrome and our application?
that's the that's the beauty of server. We have the server, not Tomcat server. We have some Tomcat server will do all these things. See, web servlet. Okay, it will return the basic web servlet and everything. That is the work of Tomcat server. Okay, so if you want to do all these things by manually, okay, so if you want to do all these things in your JBC program or something, okay, you need to install the Tomcat server. Okay, you have to run the Tomcat server, then you have to create the communication between your Tomcat server and your application, then you will get the output in the Google Chrome. But we are using Spring Boot application where no need to write any configuration. It will do all the things. No need to download the Tomcat server also, because I already mentioned Spring is a serverless framework. It doesn't need any framework. It will download the browser and everything. It will download the server. It will download the configuration, everything. Okay, that is the power of Spring Boot application. We are not mentioning anything, but it is appearing. We are using the essence. Okay, now you can see here started application in 4.79 seconds. Okay, Tomcat is started. No, so how to access the Tomcat? Okay, so Tomcat creates the one local server for us. Okay, it created some local server for us. Okay, so if you want to access the server, okay, if you want to send a request, okay, to the server, where you can send the request through the search engine only, right? So through the search engine only we have to communicate with the server. So that's why here, okay, this is my search engine. Here I'm communicating with my server by mentioning the URL of the server. See, I'm mentioning the URL and server is responding to my URL. Okay, request and respond, that's it. Okay, the server can do all these things by itself. No need to figure it out anything. Okay, Priyanshu? See, I didn't do anything. Okay, I didn't do anything. So I created one simple Maven application, and in the Maven application I added two dependencies: Spring Boot starter parent and Spring Boot starter web. I added two dependencies in the project. After adding the two dependencies, I created by defaultly we have one app.java, right? So here I mentioned okay, Spring Boot application annotation and Spring application.run. I am running the Spring application. Whenever you are running the Spring application, this Spring application can do 3 different tasks. Okay, this Spring application dot run can do 3 different tasks. That means, okay, I mean, I will write here, the tasks can be done by the Spring application dot run method. Run. Okay, so it will create a basic default configuration. Okay, it will set up a default configuration. I will write setup default configuration, and the second thing it can do is it will create application context. It will create an application context, and it will start Tomcat server. It will start some Tomcat server to work. Okay, to design, to handle the REST APIs and everything. Okay, so this is the work of application.run. Application.run method we have now. So this, I mean, this particular method can do all these things. Okay, and okay, so I mean, after running the server, we are not getting anything. Okay, we are not getting anything. Okay, for example, here you can see, okay, if I run the server by using the protocol, I mean the port number, okay, I didn't get anything. I just get the error page. Okay, we got the 404 error page. Okay, now, okay, I want to send the proper request to the server. Okay, so here, okay, we are the people who are handling the servers, right? So I want to handle the request coming from the, okay, user. Okay, so if user requests something like hello, okay, I want to display this message. Okay, for example, if user request for login page of the Facebook, the Facebook server is responding with the Facebook login page, right? So whenever the user of our application, okay, can can make a request for hello, and we are printing hi. Okay, so we are processing the request and we are giving the response to the user by processing the request given by the user. Okay, that's what. Okay, we created 2 different files, that's it. And okay, I wrote the one class. Okay, so your your controller your controller class can be created as a REST controller, and our method can map the request. Okay, our method can map the request, so that's why I'm requesting the mapping. Okay, so similarly, if I type 127.0.0.1 okay, slash users, okay, I have to display the list of users. Okay, if we want to add the users, we have to do something. Okay, we have to handle all the requests in our controller only. This is our controller. Okay, so tomorrow we can create the service, we can create the model, and we can do all those things. Tomorrow we can create the proper REST APIs. Okay, proper REST APIs. Okay, Priyanshu?
Okay, sir.
Okay, anything else, guys? So we are designing Spring application and we moved into the the REST API part. Okay, so this is very important part. Okay, if you are confusing, if you had any doubt, please let me know. Okay, this is not a simple one. Okay, you didn't get all this content in the Google, because okay, every developer has a unique approach. This is my approach. Okay, so if you see someone, okay, they will have a different approach. Okay, definitely you will get confused. Okay, so please follow my content only. Okay, if you are having any doubt, you can ask me. I will there for you for sure. Okay. What about other people? Priyanshu, Ketan, Rupa, Ganesha, Priti, Chaitra. Is everything okay? Can you create the REST API to print hello message in the browser?
Yes, sir. If I can have doubt, I will inform you.
Okay. Priti, what about you? Gunjan, Renu, Astosh, Shika Sharma, Divya, Guys, any issue?
Yes, sir. No.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So please create a simple REST API to get a communication with, the server. Okay. So tomorrow is a lab day, no? Tomorrow I will give some extra content about the REST APIs and I will give you some tasks. Okay. So can I give you the tasks in Spring Core? Can I give you? Do you want to practice Spring Core?
Sir,
Guys,
do we need it?
just we need it, no? We need to understand the syntaxes and everything, no?
Okay. So you
But
can.
a few, in the real time, you are not going to use them. But we have to understand that's a process, no? If I said something like dependency injection directly here, okay, that doesn't make any sense, na?
Okay, okay.
So we have to understand what is a setter injection, what is a constructor injection, how it performing, how boot performing the setter injection on behalf of us. We will see the differences. Okay, so don't worry, I'll give you the basic task only. Okay, so I'll give you
Okay,
the
sir.
task, one task on Spring Core and two different tasks on Spring Boot.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys, any doubts? Anything to discuss now? So shall I add something else? Shall we write any other APIs? Tell me what to do. Okay, okay, okay. It's okay. So I can wind up tomorrow. We can discuss the more things. Okay. So, but today you can practice. Okay, so many things. Okay, you have to practice so many things. First of all, please practice setter injection and please practice constructor injection. Okay, and simple REST API. Okay, simple REST API. These are the things that we can do. Okay, guys, can you practice these three things for today? Okay, so no issue. Okay, so I'll do something for you. So this is the lab day tasks. Okay, these are the lab day tasks. So you have to create all these things and send me the GitHub links by Friday. Okay, by Friday or Thursday's night. Okay, these are the three different lab day tasks. You have to perform setter injection, constructor injection, and simple REST API to communicate with the server. Okay, these are the three different lab tasks for you. Okay, please complete the lab day tasks. Okay, it is Wednesday. We have 2 days of time to complete the lab day. Okay. Hey, response da. Why are so silent? I don't know. What's happening? Okay. Why are only 22? Where is the rest of us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Complete it as early as possible. Okay. Yeah. So setter injection, constructor injection. Nishant, heavy. Why? Heavy in Spring Core. We have enough time lah. 2 days of time we have, no? Okay. So you can complete the task by Friday, na? Don't need to complete it by today. These are the lab day programs. Okay, please take a time. Okay, refer my code. Okay, then you can do. Yeah. So if you have anything, if you have any doubt, you can ping me. Okay. Yes. Okay, guys, I'm stopping my presentation. Okay, we can meet tomorrow. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me or you can ping me. The app installed, no, Nishant, actually what happened is, so I'm trying to install, but the antivirus in my laptop is stopping that. It is some cracker version, no? So that's why I am unable to install that. So actually I'm done with the task now. Actually the meeting is over. So I want to record only one meeting. Okay. So but the meeting is over. Nothing happened in the meeting. Thanks for the support, man. But I am unable to install because of the antivirus, So that particular software has some, some virus. Maybe it is a cracked one, na? That's why it has some issues in installing. Actually, I don't want to use cracked versions also. I'm not that much fan of cracked versions. No, because if we use the cracker versions, definitely, okay, someday, okay, not today, someday, okay, there is a chance, okay, to lose the, I mean, to attacked by the hackers. There is a chance, no? So that's why. And actually, I'm trying to install, but my antivirus blocked the installation. Okay, guys, if you have any issue, okay, please bring me back. Bye.